Welcome to Jason in the Kitchen. Today we're going to be making Yvette's favorite brownie recipe from Nick Malgieri for his chocolate cookbook. These are his supernatural brownies. Let's get started. Alright, so I've got 2 sticks of unsalted butter and 8 ounces of chopped chocolate. I'm using 70%. You can use whatever percent you like depending on how sweet you like your brownies. I've got 4 eggs. I've got half a teaspoon of salt. I've got 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup of packed brown sugar. I've got 1 cup of all-purpose flour and about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I never really measure vanilla. So I've got my oven heated to 350 degrees. This pan is approximately 9 by 13 by 2, where I've made a parchment sling and oiled the bottom and the top. You can use foil if you'd like. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this chocolate and butter on top of a saucepan that has water boiling so I can melt the chocolate and the butter together. Alright, so I turned the heat off on the boiling water. Chocolate and the butter are starting to melt together. So in a separate mixing bowl, I'm going to add our eggs. I'm going to whisk those together. I'm going to add our salt. I'm going to add the granulated sugar. And I'm going to add the packed brown sugar. And I'm going to whisk all this together. All right, there we go. Now that's all blended together, I'm going to add in our vanilla. And I'm going to whisk that in. All right, there we go. Now we just got to wait for our chocolate and butter mixture to melt. And we'll be right back. All right, our chocolate and our butter are melted together now. I'm going to add it to the egg mixture. I'm going to whisk that in. I'm going to use a rubber spatula to get the rest of that out of there. And I'm going to continue to whisk. You want to make sure there's no streaks left of the egg mixture. You want to make sure that this comes together into a nice mixture. Really with this, you can whisk it pretty good. You don't want to really whip air into it, but you can really mix this good. Make sure it's all mixed together really good. Because once you add your flour, that's when you need to be more careful. Okay, so now we're going to add our cup of flour. And now instead of whisking this in, you can whisk it if you're really careful, but you just fold it in Folding, you turn your bowl and you go around the bottom and over the top. Turn bottom to top. Around the sides, around the bottom, and flip. That's pretty much it. That's your motion to fold. That way we don't develop too much gluten here. We're just trying to mix in the flour very gently. See, we're getting there. It's almost incorporated. Around the sides, there we go. Looks good, just barely incorporated. I don't see any more flour. Well, there's a little bit of streak right there. But if you have a little bit of flour in here, that's okay. Okay. Now we're gonna put this in our pan. All right, we're gonna put our brownie mixture into our prepared pan. Our oven is heated to 350, and we've got the rack already set in the middle of the oven. So we are good to go. So let's make sure we get this mixture into our pan. If you don't have a big pan like this, I've used the 8x8 brownie pan. Your brownies will just be a little bit thicker. And if you use two 8x8 pans, your brownies will be a little bit thin. So it just depends on how you like them. All right, I'm gonna spread this out to the corners. And just continue to spread till you get it evenly across the pan. I've made tons of different brownie recipes over the years, and this is Yvette's favorite. So these are the ones that she likes the best. So she requested them, so that's why I'm making them now. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to tap it a couple times. What that does is get rid of any air bubbles that are in there. And now we're going to bake this at 350 degrees. And we're going to bake that for about 45 minutes or so. We'll check it and make sure that everything's good. All right, we've taken our brownies out of the oven. It's been about 40 minutes. The top is shiny. It's pretty much baked through. I checked it with a toothpick. Just a little bit of crumb was on there. So now we're going to let these rest until they're completely cool. All right, now that our brownies are cooled, we're going to take them out of the pan. We have this sling here that we made with the parchment, so you can lift it out easily. And then we remove the parchment. All right, we got it on a sheet pan. I'm going to slide it onto our cutting board. And now we can slice them. You can slice your brownies however big you want them. I'm going to start by cutting them in half, and then cut each half in half. And then I'll do the same the other way. And that'll be the size of our brownies. All right, so cutting the brownies this size, I've got 12. If you cut those in half, then you'll have 24. So I cut a brownie for Jason and I to eat, and you can store these either in a Ziploc bag or in an airtight container. And that's how you would store them. So we got the brownies ready. We're going to grab a glass of milk and we'll be ready to eat these. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.